across the others. No?
Yes, yes, yes.
So APTI Mumbai group you share, I will also share to all the people then in that case. Or other groups also you can share.
Yes.
I think we will start, madam. Let's begin. X second. Zine sir, send the link, no YouTube link, so that we'll just post it and then we'll start the event.
Yeah, even we will forward it. Just
we will forward it and then we can.
Yeah.
We already posted, sir. We have posted our YouTube link.
Where have you posted? It's with me here.
On same message.
Got
Zoom
it.
and
Got,
YouTube.
yes, got it.
Yes.
I will also send it. Got it. Yes, got it. ठीक है. Yeah, then let's start then, please.
Sure, sir. So good evening to everyone present here. And on behalf of APTI Mumbai region, I, Ms. Urshali Keer, wish you a very happy Teachers' Day. And I hope all of you all are in the best of health. As we all know, teachers are the true nation builders who lay the foundation of character in the student fraternity. And we help build enlightened citizens. So I extend a very warm welcome to all the teachers present here on the special occasion of Lessons from Legends. As we all know, APTI Mumbai has been the most vibrant local unit that's been working in the past few years. It has been established in 2017 and has been active ever since. So we cover colleges under Mumbai University region, Baba Saheb Ambedkar Technological University, Institute of Chemical Technology, SNDT, D.Y. Patil University, and NMIMS. And as I'm sure you must be knowing, there are 3 activities that get conducted under the ambit of APTI Mumbai. Pharma Darpan, which is a bi-monthly e-magazine, Jnana Ganga, which is an e-repository for academic content for diploma, undergraduate and postgraduates, and Karya Kaushalam, which is a webinar series and FDPs for faculties. Now, the 4th thing that we have been conducting right from the commencement is this lessons from legends. So the first year we had Dr. Somani pioneering this unique activity, and he's been doing it ever since. So we had Professor Yadav, Professor Shirodkar, Professor DeMello, Professor Yubi Hadkar, and Professor Bhosle from the first year. Last year we had Dr. Uduppa, Dr. S.R. Naik, Dr. Bhale Rao, Dr. Amruta Bajaj, and Dr. Supriya Mahajan. Now this year we are fortunate to welcome 5 more legends who have shaped so many of our lives and have been an inspiration and motivation not only to the pharma world but also to us as teachers. So today I take the opportunity to welcome Dr. Satish Bise, Director of Arya Lab Foundation, Dr. Kg Akamanchisar, Professor, Department of Allied Health Sciences, BDLE Vijayapur, Karnataka, Dr. S.Y. Gabhe, Professor, Pune College of Pharmacy, Bharati Vidyapeeth University, Pune, Dr. Ivan Scutino, Dean Research, St. John's Technical and Educational Campus, Palghar, and late Dr. Jagtap or Dr. Aarti Jagtap. She's an ex-professor, Bombay College of Pharmacy. Though I have read out what these stalwarts are currently doing, we probably know them much more for being our teachers somewhere down the line. So now I request Amaya sir to share the screens of the summarized CVs, and we will introduce all the stalwarts one by one.
I think, Bise sir, can you please mute on your mic? There is some noise at your end, it seems.
Yeah.
This is a request, please. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So to continue, we start with the introduction of Dr. Satish Bhise. Now, sir currently is a director at, currently is the director at Arogya Lab Foundation, Pune. He's also the director at KLK Consultants, Pune. His core areas of expertise happen to be biopharmaceutics, pharmacokinetics, clinical research, TDM or therapeutic drug monitoring. And though all of this call him a researcher, he is a teacher by profession. He has been the director of LNBC Institute of Pharmacy, Satara. And we know him from, a lot of us know him from, right from BITS to Government College of Pharmacy and KM Kundanani College. He is pharmacology PhD from BITS Pilani and has a lot of awards and accolades to his credits. So he has been Professor B.N. Mittal Best Article in IJPR Awards for Pharmacy Institutions. He has been awarded the Principal of the Year in 2009. He has been awarded as the best article for Dr. R.L. Naikor for controlled nasal delivery of ondansetron, and so on and so forth. So his awards are in plenty. The list goes on. And achievements, he's also been the member of Academic Planning and Development Committee, NIPER. He's been the governing council member for various institutes. He has been senior consultant and advisor for Hedsar Center, Mysuru, iSera Private Limited, etc. He has not only mentored students, but has immense research publications, review articles, books and chapters to his credit. As you can see, we have tried to compile a lot of data in a very small slide. But I'm sure we know him and we will get to know him much better in the interaction that follows. I now request Mr. Vinod Mure to introduce the next legend.
Thank you, ma'am. May sir, can we go to the next slide? Okay, very good afternoon to one and all. Myself, Mr. Vinod Mole, Assistant Professor at the Yeshwantrao Bhosle College of Pharmacy. I would like to introduce our next legend, Professor Dr. Kg Akamanchisar. Currently, sir is working as the adjunct professor at Department of Allied Health Sciences, BLD deemed to be University, Vijayapura, Karnataka. Sir is having a vast teaching and research experience, which includes his guidance for PhD students, about 56 students. For master level, more than 80 students were guided by the sir. To the contribution, sir has published more than 115 research publications in different reputed international journals. In past also, sir served to the ICT, that is Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai, as a professor of pharmaceutical technology. Sir has handled different responsibilities. I would like to mention some of them. Sir worked as a head of the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology. He has been as a Dean of the Research and Consultancy and Resources Mobilization. He worked as the member of BOS of Management. Contribution of Dr. Akamanchisar in professional activities in academics particularly includes Board of Studies in Pharmacy, University of Mumbai. He worked as a Board of Studies in Pharmacy for the School of Pharmacy, MIT University, Pune. BOS for Faculty of Allied Health Sciences, BLD, Vijayapura University, Karnataka. He has been as a member of Research Advisory and Monitoring Committee, Bombay College of Pharmacy, Mumbai. I would like to share some professional activities related to the industries. Sir is the independent director on the board of leading API manufacturing companies. He served as a consultant in pharmaceutical industries. Sir contributed in development of technologies for manufacture of API, of some of which are commercialized in the industries. There are many awards, honors, and distinctions to the name of Dr. Kg Akamanchisar. I would like to mention few of them. He received the Fellow of Maharashtra Academy of Sciences. He is the recipient of Best Teacher Award from Mrs. Garda Chemicals Limited at ICT Mumbai, and he also served as the he also received the visiting fellowship. So with this brief introduction, once again, I would like to welcome Professor Dr. Kg Akamanchisar, and introduction of next, I would like to request Rushali ma'am.
Thank you so much, Vinod sir. Next, we have Dr. Gabe. Sorry, one second. So Dr. Gabe is currently working as a professor of pharmaceutical chemistry at Pune College of Pharmacy, Bharati Vidyapeeth University, Pune. Now, his curriculum vitae talks about him working with stalwarts in the chemistry, chemistry fraternity of teaching, learning, and research. So he has been a student of Dr. Barton at Ohio State University. He has worked with Dr. Niels Anderson from Washington University, both of whom are associated with Nobel Prizes in organic chemistry. And today, if I may say so, we consider Gabe sir also as one of those stalwarts of chemistry amongst us. Now, to continue with his accolades and awards and his professional career. So he started his work as a pool officer at CSIR and then joined SNDT Women's University, Siusha College of Pharmacy as a reader, now what we call as associate professor. From there, he moved to professor, and then in the year 2000, he was selected as the principal of the same college of SNDT University. He has guided more than 50 MPharm students for their research projects and 18 students who have completed their PhD under him, and one student is yet working towards her PhD. He took voluntary retirement in the year 2009 from Siusha College, and he has been working across the college for grants and supervised research, and around rupees 1.5 crores worth of grants were sanctioned for him, and most of those grants came in from the industry. So he has worked with various factors in the pharma industry. On the academic side, he has been awarded the Best Teacher Award in 1993, instituted by PAMDAL. Second Best Paper Award given to his paper at an international conference in medicinal chemistry. He has also been nominated by UGC now as a member of Pharmacy Council of India for the term of 5 years. He was also the chairman of All India Board Pharmacy Education of AICT New Delhi for 2 terms. He is currently a member of All India Board Pharmacy Education AICT New Delhi. He is also involved with NBA activities as a chairperson or chairman or expert for accreditation of various pharmacy institutions across the country. He was also the Dean of Faculty of Technology at SNDT University. And along with those, he has also been the controller of examinations at the same university twice. He's worked across the statutory bodies of SNDT University, and he's currently Board of Studies, Mumbai University member, former member of BOIS, BITS Ranchi. On the industry side, he's a consultant to Coors India, Thane, for the specialty division, and was also involved in training and R&D of Sun Pharma Company, Andheri, and his core being organic chemistry. His basic interests now have diversified from organic chemistry to natural product chemistry analysis and teaching, of course. So with this small introduction, I welcome sir, and now request Vinod sir to introduce the next legend.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So let me welcome and let me introduce our next immense legends, Dr. Ivan Scutino, sir. Currently, he is working as a Dean of the Research at St. John Technical and Educational Campus, Palghar. Heartiest welcome, sir. Sir is having more than 34 years of the teaching experience along with 30 years of the research experience. During this, sir has guided more than 20 PhD students, more than 41 master students. Sir has been invited for the different invited national and international talks, about more than 123. To his contribution, sir had received different grants. From government, he has received more than 16 research grants. From industry, he has received total more than 9 industry sponsored projects. I'd like to mention the name of industries here. Spring Bank Pharmaceutical USA, BASF Germany, Alchem Synthon India Limited, USV Limited India, Biocon Limited India, AstraZeneca India Private Limited, SIBA Specialty Chemical Limited, Alchemy Research Centers, and OCAD Limited. In research point of view, sir has published more than 30 national, more than 150 international research paper. Sir has presented more than 72 national, more than 28 international posters in different conferences and seminars. To the contribution, sir had written 4 book chapters. He had total 3 patents to his contribution. Sir has several professional membership. He is the life member of Indian Pharmaceutical Association. He is the life member of Indian Biophysics Society, life member of the Nuclear Magnetic Resonance Society. He is the life member of the Research Society of Bombay College of Pharmacy. I would like to specially mention here, sir has received more than 35 awards, honors, and distinctions. So I would like to mention few of them here. Sir is the member of the Academic Council, University of Mumbai from 2012 to 2015. He has received the CIPLA Distinguished Fellowship in Pharmaceutical Sciences in academic year 2003. He has been a visiting fellowship, received the visiting fellowship from Indian Academy of Sciences, Bangalore in 1997. Sir had also received a prestigious IDMA GP Nair Award in the year 1984 and many more. Sir also associated with many number of the prestigious organizations throughout the India, like Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, NIPER, Mohali, ICT Mumbai, NMIMS University Mumbai, Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Punjab, and Nirma University, Ahmedabad. So with this short introduction, once again, I would like to welcome Dr. Ivan Scutino, sir. I would like to call up Brushali, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, this is a legend who we want to acknowledge posthumously. So we know late Mrs. Dr. Aarti Jagtap. She was born into a family of teachers. So teaching was something that she said was in her blood. So her father was a retired professor of psychology and her mother was a school teacher. After completing her graduate degree in pharmacology, she worked for a few years at Kamla Nehru College of Pharmacy, Aurangabad. From there, in the year 1979, she moved to Mumbai and joined industry. From industry, she then came to her place that she called home, Bombay College of Pharmacy, in August 1982. While working as a lecturer, she completed her doctoral degree from Mumbai University, and she rose through the ranks at BCP, eventually becoming the professor there, and retired from there as the head of the pharmacology department in 2014. While at BCP, she undertook several research projects in collaboration with the pharmaceutical industry and made her mark as a distinguished researcher. Her research work was well received and won several awards at national and international stage. She published 41 research articles in several internationally recognized peer-reviewed journals, and she also authored 2 books on the same subject. She has guided more than 30 masters and PhD candidates during her career, many of whom now are known as industry stalwarts on their own. So she was a key member of the curriculum and the examination committee for Mumbai University. She was the secretary of Institutional and Animals Ethic Committee of BCP and also served as a member of the approval committee responsible for starting new pharmacy colleges. She retired from her academic career in 2014, but continued working in the subject matter till the end. Now, as a person, for those who have known Dr. Jagtap, she was known for her cheerful, down-to-earth, modest, trustworthy, kind, benevolent, and a very cool nature. She was a person who students went up to for any problems associated with academics or otherwise. She always tackled problems very coolly and with a very positive attitude. And her enthusiasm was definitely infectious and inspired others to work in a team as well. So on this note, I would like to mention or call upon members, if we have anybody joining from her family. Okay, I guess not.
Yeah, we will
So
see
then
it,
next, yeah.
once we discuss. Yes.
Yeah, so next, we have the next slide, please. So, yeah. So I'm just going to go through this contents of the certificate and honor and appreciation that we are going to send the legends as a form of a memento to all the dignitaries who are here. So we take immense pleasure and pride to honor you in recognition of your absolute dedication and outstanding contribution to the noble field of teaching, academics, and research. In sincere gratitude for being instrumental in bringing remarkable change in teaching field through magnetic leadership and guidance, and for always staying compassionate and benevolent for the well-being of humanity. Certainly, entire field of pharmacy will always be grateful to you for your years of commitment that has set an excellent benchmark for every building professional. Thanks for shaping so many lives and providing priceless memories. It is one thing to be a coach, another thing to be a mentor, but a completely different thing to be a teacher. So APTI Mumbai Regional Branch will always be thankful to you for being with us on this day today, 6th September 2022. Thank you so much. With this note, I now call upon Dr. Somani to take the interaction forward.
Yes, thank you so much, Shali Madam and Mr. Vinod, for initiating. Good afternoon, one and all. And once again, I welcome everybody, Dr. Kutino sir, BCA sir, Gabe sir, Akamanchi sir, and the family members from BCP, as well as family members of Jagtap Madam who are attending, the students of Jagtap Madam who are attending this particular activity or this particular program. So as already mentioned in the beginning, that APTI Mumbai has been very proactive to acknowledge the dedication of all of you, all the senior members. And importantly, we want to learn from you. And that is how this activities was started. And all the stalwarts of different fields were, been called earlier also. And there are a lot of interaction that happened. So this session will go like this, that we will be discussing certain pointers there. And based on that, the teachers who are attending this particular event on the Zoom platform as well as via YouTube platform, they would like to learn from you all, because you have been an exceptional career into pharma research as well as industry. So I will start this with Dr. Akamanchisar, and there are certain, from Akamanchisar I will take the lead, and that is how I will go further asking this. If I again request if someone from Jagtap Madam's family is there, because we always wanted to acknowledge Jagtap Madam. Unfortunately, she is not there with us. She has into the, she was really a very, as rightly mentioned, was a very down-to-earth lady and a down-to-earth teacher. And I, in my personal interaction also with her many times, have learned a lot of things from her. So I'm seeing, I think, Krishna Priya Madam, are you there, right? If something I have to talk about, Jagtap Madam, I will may request you also to just share a few experiences or memories with Jagtap Madam, right? So to start with Akamanchi, to start with Akamanchi sir, I hope I'm audible to you, right?
Yeah.
Sir, I have seen you sitting in the UDCT, that is ICT's laboratory, and performing lots of experimentation involved into APIs and other things. So my question to you is, sir, that what is your inspiration to come into teaching, career in teaching? Can you please elaborate to all the teachers? There are young teachers who are listening to you, sir, and we'd like to see how exactly your journey as a teacher commenced. in a brief interaction, and then we will elaborate further. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon to all APTI members and my dear colleagues, Professor Gabe, Professor Bise, Professor Coutinho. It is a nice occasion to see all of you, and also in the APTI, there is a pharmacy group, because normally we are BSc Tech people, we are not directly coming into the pharmacy. Somehow pharmacy people feel that BSc Tech is not pharmacy, even though we are registered pharmacists. So we have some issues with respect to pharmacy. Anyway, that is a part of administrative setup, our national administrative setup. We have to live with it. Anyway, coming apart from that, so I'm really thankful to Dr. Somani and APTI committee for inviting us and considering us as a legend, which myself, I thought, what is this word is all about, and how we suddenly became legend. But anyway, it is a good honor to be called by our younger generation that we did well in our profession, whatever we did. So that is a good recognition. Especially one should get recognition from your own fraternity. That is the real one. Outside people don't really know what we are doing. They only clap it and go. But for you people, you really know us. So whatever honor we get from you people is real honor, because you know us from day one, and everything about us. Honesty, integrity, academic performance, and not only directly, also through our students and so on. So it is really a great honor for me to be associated and to be honored as legend at APTI Mumbai branch. Now, some questions are there, 6 questions. We have to say something around that. And first question, Dr. Somani told me how I entered into the education field. See, I am coming from a village. Of course, there's the case of most of the Indians. We all have come from the villages. And especially at my age, my village, you can imagine some 60 years ago. So it was an ancient village, not a newer type, ancient village which has a history of thousands of years, all temples, etc. And we are at the bank of river Chandrabhaga. In our area, it is called as Bhima, but otherwise it is coming from Pandharpur, where it is called as Chandrabhaga River. So we are, and river is having a good sand. So we had a sand beach. So whenever people used to come to Mumbai, they wanted to see the beach. But we always enjoyed the beach because our river is having a good sand beach. So we never got attracted toward the Chowpatty, etc., because the beach which we had was far superior than the beach of Chowpatty. And we used to go there for reading, studying. Our studying place is a bank of the river. All our friends will go there and we'll sit some near a bush and read there. So that was my school life. I studied in my school in my native language, Kannada. And the village is border to Maharashtra, one side. On the another side, it is Andhra Pradesh. And before independence, it belonged to Nizam state. So our village got independence not in 1947, 1 year later, when the Nizam state was merged with the mainstream. So there a lot of influence was there of, and my parents are all Marathi educated because we are near to Maharashtra, and my brother is also Marathi educated. So from our onwards, the Kannada medium school started, and we all studied in Kannada medium. So that was my background with up to the SSLC. Then we shifted for higher education since Solapur was near to us, so I went to the college in Solapur. It is Dayanand College. It is DAV College, very famous college. And till today, I have never seen a college and the teachers which I saw in that Dayanand College. Excellent teachers, physics, chemistry, mathematics. Even I can visualize what kind of lectures they were taking even today. And the basics they have taught was excellent. So those were the days where college education, where the teachers were very interactive. Practicals were full. Not a single day will go without a practical. Practical in botany, practical in physics, practical in chemistry, even at 12th standard. All those practicals which you have done, even that are useful even today for me when we teach the chemistry classes, etc. So that was the level of education, and teachers were very dedicated teachers and excellent teachers. So after 12th standard, I got very good mark. I am in the rankers. So I wanted to go to medical. But you know that India is a highly restricted country. You can't go here, you can't do this, you can't do that, you don't do this. A lot of restrictions are there. So I got stuck in that restriction. So I was from Karnataka, so I was not domiciled in Maharashtra. So I could not get medical seat. And when I went to the Karnataka, they said your 12th standard is from Maharashtra, you can't get the seat in Karnataka. So as a result, I didn't get the medical seat. Anyway, I never got upset. I said, BSc, I will do it. So what is wrong? Anyway, I wanted education. I wanted to be connected with the society, whatever I do. So I left medical and came to Bombay and did a BSc in Bombay Junior College. Then after coming BSc, I completed again in the rank. So my admission in UDCT was just walk-in. Actually, I was first in the merit list for UDCT admission. So I did BSc Tech and UDCT. Then I continued. I became MSc Tech and up to PhD Tech I went on. And I liked chemistry from the beginning. And partially I went to industry to understand the industrial setup. And I realized that education is my forte. So I came back to the education and I started. And you also know that it is not so easy to get in institutions of your liking and environment you are liking. So that is one of the questions you have posed, how the current teachers have to get adopted.
Sir,
I was lucky.
Sir, I will come to that question bit later.
Okay.
These very opening remarks. I will proceed to next and then I'll come back to you again.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So then I lucky that I got in a good institution, so I could make a career in that institution. So I started as a reader. Then you know that in the government institution, our promotions go on as per the age and experience. You go up. By that way, I reached whatever positions I could reach by way of experience, seniority, etc. And coming to your background inspiration to pursue, these were my inspiration that I wanted to be connected with the society. So if not medical, then the teaching is another profession where you can be connected with the society. So that made me to come to the teaching institutions. So I think that answers your first question.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I will come to next question a bit later.
Yes.
I will move to Dr. Gabe, another senior person who are here. Yes, sir. So briefly, can you tell, sir, what is your inspiration? Why did you come to teaching? You know, because I have attended your classes in spectroscopy, NMR, mass, fantastic classes. So what was that, motivation for you to come to education? If you can tell briefly.
Yeah, I'll be brief, but let me first thank you and the APTI for giving this award. It's really appreciated. Now, when I did my B Pharm, again, as Professor Akamanchi said, I was inclined to go either medical or some related fields. But then at that time, seats were very few and my percentage was not that high. So I got admission in pharmacy in the University Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Nagpur University. And there I had very good teachers, Dr. Vadodkar, Parashar, Devdar, and that sort of formed the early opinion that I should also contribute to the society by giving good teaching to the students and the society in general. So I was debating what to do, whether not to do. But then Professor Devdar said, you go abroad, get that experience and then come back and do what you like. So then I applied for PhD course in Ohio State University. And I was really fortunate that at that time, the chemistry department of the Ohio State University was 5th ranked in the world. So there were really top class teachers there. And I came to know what organic teaching is there really, to be honest with you. With all due respects to my other teachers, how to teach organic, that I came to know there. And there I was taught by one of the professors who was a student of Professor Barton, a Nobel laureate. And I got maximum marks in the entire university in his subject. After that, I moved from pharmacy to chemistry department in University of Washington. And there also, this was really a rare occasion that a pharmacy student is not permitted in chemistry department, vice versa is allowed. And there I worked with a professor who was again a student of another Nobel laureate, that is E.J. Corey in Harvard. So I really benefited there, and I got experience how to do research work, how to interpret results, all the sophisticated instruments, everything I had there, I used it personally. And that really helps. When you have your so-called hands-on training, that really helps. And then in the beginning only, I was decided that I'm going to come back to my country. And after that, after 2 years of postdoctorate in University of Washington, I came back here and was looking for a position. So initially I got the pool officer's job in Nagpur University Department. And from there, Dr. Mrs. Baichwal once came to our department and she asked Dr. Dorle whether you have any good chemistry person. And Dr. Dorle immediately recommended my name. So I had to go through all that formality, interview, filling application, all that. And that time I was selected, and that is how I entered the teaching.
Yeah, that's a very fascinating story, sir. From US, you come back to Nagpur and then came to full-fledged teaching. That's great. So we have another teacher from Pune, Dr. Satish Bise sir, also a very well-known academician. Bise sir, what about you? What was your inspiration? How did you come to teaching?
Yeah, I did my first degree B.Pharm in Government College of Pharmacy, Karad itself. And then for post-graduation, I came to Hafkin Institute. Dr. Bide was my guide. Dr. Gaitonde was director there at that time. And Dr. Bide wanted to start, although Hafkin was known for land snake venom, Dr. Bide was interested in entering a new field, sea snake venom. Because sea snake venomation has a different picture entirely. A urine becomes red. There is myoglobinuria after sea snake envenomation, unlike land snakes. And we had a very exciting experience that time, going to seashore along with fishermen. They were catching the fishes and throwing the snakes. In fact, we were doing the reverse, requesting them to maintain the snakes. We have maintained the snakes in our aquarium in the institute and extracted venom from them, and then tried to study the mechanism of action. We tried in experimental animals, but we could not simulate that symptom of myoglobinuria. But the work continued. We had a couple of publications there. Then, while I just was to complete my MPharm, I got a position in Searle India Limited as a clinical research associate. The field of clinical research has grown tremendously by now. But that time it was the beginning. Medical departments of the pharmaceutical companies were relatively new. And Searle India being a multinational, I had worked there for 2 years as a clinical research associate. But my mind of going into research and teaching did not satisfy, although the job was good. And then I worked for 2 years in Searle India and then entered in BITS Pilani for my PhD. I had 3 professors there guiding for my PhD, BITS being a university. It was relatively easier to register. Earlier, when I was in Pune, I was in Mumbai, I tried at UDCT also. Dr. Parmeshwaran was there in the chemistry department. I contacted him, but there was no fellowship assigned. So that's why I thought of going to BITS Pilani for my PhD. Now, there is a saying that teaching is one job where you are paid for reading and writing. And that has been my passion, which I satisfied to a large extent in BITS Pilani. There were 3 professors, Dr. S.P. Gupta, Dr. R.C. Srivastava, and Professor Mathur, who helped me. All of them had a different training. While Dr. Srivastava was a physical chemist, Dr. S.P. Gupta was a quantum chemist, and Dr. Mathur was a chemical engineer. These 3 people were involved in my thesis. And I worked for a hypothesis that surface active drugs can form a monolayer on the surface of drugs independently as a physical action, and that can provide a clue to the mechanism of action of drugs. I first tried with haloperidol and tried to do an experiment to prove that the physical barrier provided by haloperidol for dopamine was relatively higher. So with this, we had a first paper in Journal of Pharmaceutical Sciences putting this theory that physical membrane formed by drug, we termed that as a liquid membrane. And after that, several papers were published. After completing my PhD, I came back to KM Kunnani College of Pharmacy and worked there as a reader and head of the department. In fact, my predecessor was my guide, Dr. Bide there. He gave me an opportunity of working there as a reader. And having worked there as a reader for 2 to 3 years, I got an opportunity of being selected as the principal of Government College of Pharmacy, Kara. I had experience of a affiliated college with a university in the form of Government College of Pharmacy, a HITRT as an institute, independent research institute related to teaching in the form of a Hopkins Institute, and then a deemed university in the form of BITS Pilani. So with these three experiences, I thought of, after being in KMK, I thought of taking up the position of principal at Government College of Pharmacy, where in spite of being an administrative job, I continued my interest in teaching. And that's how, once I entered, although just like Dr. Akamanchi and Dr. Gabe, my choice was that of medicine earlier. Once I got pharmacy, I and took up the position of principal of Government College of Pharmacy, Karar. I put up my strong fold in teaching and made best of it.
That's great, sir. So your journey into chemistry and from academia to administration is really a very visible and very, very inspiring to all of us. We'll come back to you again. Moving to Kutino, sir, as I have been very closely interacting with Kutino sir since long time. Sir, what was your inspiration? Again, all they have given their story. So what was your story to become a teacher?
Okay. First, let me thank you, Dr. Rakesh and the APTI team for this honor. It's really a great honor to be here among the stalwarts, Professor Satish Gabe, Professor Akmanchi, and Professor Satish Bise. And of course, my very own colleague, Dr. APTI Jagtap, whom we miss so much. Okay, let me say that unlike the others, I never intended to be a pharmacist. Pharmacist was not my choice in life. I had a strong passion to be an engineer.
Oh.
However, God designed it something else. So, I was in the wait list for engineering. And because of the admissions that were quite delayed, somehow being in the wait list, my name never got inside finally for admission out here. And that made me quite sad. So I was actually forced to do BSc, and I did BSc in chemistry. Then I realized that, in those days doing BSc, it was considered at least you're going to be a useless person. You're going to walk around with a bag selling medicines. So I woke up and said, now here is something that I have got to do. So I studied very hard in BSc and stood second in the university, and I got admission into Udacity for pharmaceuticals and fine chemicals. And there it changed my life a lot. And the people who inspired me were my teachers at Udacity, Professor R.P. Iyer, Professor Pradhan in my undergraduate days. And then I also learned under Professor Akmanchi at my master's. These were wonderful teachers, and they made a great impact on me. And I decided, yes, I would love to follow in their footsteps. Then as you read my CV, I was associated with TIFR, and they were great people out there doing great research. And they stimulated me. Okay, along with teaching, I must do something in research. So then my mind was set. It's going to be research, and it's going to be teaching. And I must also mention that in my own family, my mother was a teacher in a school, okay, quite close by. And then I had others among my relatives who were also teachers. So all put together, the teachers at Udacity, the researchers at TIFR, and my own family, I think they were the ones who actually gave me this desire to be to pursue teaching as a profession out there. And yes, my students were also the impetus to propel me to do better and better with each other. Okay, I'm very happy with the students that I got, and their inspiration, their love, their affection, they propelled me forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, engineer, became a pharmacist and particularly a drug researcher. I mean, that was a wonderful journey. Now, taking further this, all of you have a really inspirational story. I will collectively talk about Jagtap madam a little bit late. I go back to Akamanchisar. So now you have given your journey, and with that inspiration, you came to teaching. There were lots of problems, earlier also in the teaching field and now also. My question to you is, what was a unique, a specific problem probably you might have faced, which you overcome, and that is a learning lesson for you as well as the new faculty members or the faculty members who are watching this program? Can you please tell us about it? Any specific incident which you would like to highlight?
I don't recollect anything that specific incident is there. Since I had come to the teaching with my own interest, I never looked any incident like that. Whatever comes on me, I got adopted, and any event that happened to me, I always converted that into an opportunity. I think that should be one of the important qualities of a teacher, that you should never grumble. Whatever opportunities are around, pick it up and convert it into a great opportunity. I think if that way, if it is done, I think teaching life will be. Second is that you should concentrate on the teaching, because our primary role is teaching, and second role is knowledge, new knowledge creation. So both the things we should concentrate. And one important thing one should notice is that you have got young minds in your classroom who are willing to learn from you, and it is a very good advertising yourself. If you show your capability, your competence, and your intellect, so that will go in a long way in your growth. So suppose the teacher student which I taught in my earlier years, they are all in leading positions. Whatever problem, whatever thing they encounter, they remember us. Okay, this is the person who can solve this. So your career longevity also depends on that, how you groom your students, how much hard work you put, how you teach, etc. Because students are continuously watching you, even though they may not look like that, but they are continuously watching. And I enjoyed actually teaching. I used to concentrate too much on teaching, and that's what I have adopted.
Great, sir. So as you rightly said, that one must go ahead, continue with whatever problems comes, but this teaching should continue. I'll move to Bise, sir. Sir, what was, can you share some unique experience which was a bit challenging for you and learned some lesson which you would like to share, if at all?
Yeah, in fact, I would like to share this with present empowerment PhD students, that if you go for a conventional problem to be solved as a issue for your post-graduation and PhD, it may be easier to publish a paper, get a degree and all that. But if at all you go for an innovative problem, then there you may face challenges, and you should not be reluctant to face this. For example, when we started a Master of Pharmacy at Hopkins Institute, our issue was that of venoms of sea snakes. Now, handling sea snakes, anesthetizing the snakes, then extracting the venom from them, then lyophilizing them, all entirely new thing for all of us. And then we had really so much struggle in the beginning that we thought whether we had taken a right problem or not. But after all, we had a good satisfaction later. So you should not hesitate to take unusual efforts if at all your problem is challenging and if it is new. Don't hesitate to do that. Initially, there may be some hesitation. Same thing happened in case of my doctoral work in Beats Pilani also. The hypothesis we put was, well, target receptor interactions are there and they do exert the action, there is no doubt about that. But the physical action of a surface active drug forming a membrane around a membrane can be a mechanism of action. This was a new thought. And initially, we sent our paper to Journal of Pharmacy and Pharmacology. They rejected that paper. Even my supervisor was disappointed by this happening. And he asked me, he used to say me, "Bisiji, what we should do?" So I said, let us do some more work, add some additional comments, and try Journal of Pharmaceutical Sciences in US. It took more than 1 year for us. But then later on, finally, at JPS, our viewpoint was accepted. And the hypothesis that drug membrane forming a liquid membrane at the interface even of a non-living membrane can offer resistance to a drug. And then we came out with a hypothesis which we published in Advanced Science, Colloid Interface Science, later after doing this. So don't hesitate to take risks in the research, even if problem is new and challenges are there. Do face them. There may be initial some setback, delay in the publication of paper. You may get disappointed, but with your strong conviction and the support from the department as well as your guide, you can overcome that, and that gives a good knowledge to that. So facing unusual things right in the beginning as an innovation is a, I would say, secret to be achieving higher targets in your life. That is what I felt.
That's great, sir. So risk taking, that is what you have highlighted. I move to Gabe, sir. Sir, you were an able administrator for a quite long period of time at SNDT, Shah College of Pharmacy. My question to you is, how do you keep your team motivated to create and impact the meaningful education? Nowadays, people talk about a lot about meaningful education. So what are your guiding principles one has to follow to, motivate the people? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes. I think the motivation was to get a good syllabus and the mode of delivery of lectures. See, it is really disgusting these days to see that students get so many high percentage of marks, 98, 95, 97, like that. But if you compare their knowledge level, it doesn't match with the marks that they get. And it is only because I feel because of that wretched mug up technology. All that is taught is mug up, and throw up. Nothing else. Don't ask questions, nothing. So I was very lucky in that sense. There was a very big challenge also, because I cannot be ungrateful to those two institutions, UDCT and Bombay College, because that time there were Professor Pradhan and Professor, forgot his name.
Dr. Deshpande?
No. In Tipnis, yes. Professor Tipnis, Professor V.M. Kulkarni were also there, Dr. Akamanchi in UDCT. So just the few names, and it was really a challenge to come up to that level, because we were very young that time. I think we started in 70, 71, and they were well-established institutions. So first thing I did was, since ours was the only institution in the entire university, I framed the syllabus in chemistry and gave full authority to the respective heads. I said, you discuss with your faculty and come up with a syllabus which will be a trend setter. Don't follow the trends, set your own. That is what I told them. And they were really, I must appreciate their efforts that they did that job. But as far as chemistry is concerned, it took some time, because there is so much phobia and fear and all those unwanted things associated with that subject, chemistry, that very few students were interested. So the first thing was to create interest in them through proper teaching. And what I observed is, you are afraid of doing something only if things are not clear. So I made sure that they understand the subject, topic, whatever it is, and not ask them the questions that are typically asked in all other institutions. Let's say, just simple example I will give. In any organic paper, you will see, give 2 or 3 methods of preparation of XYZ class of compounds. I said, why you are doing this? Is that what people will ask you when you go for interview or job? Or they will say, this is the compound we have and we want this from this. give us a scheme. So this is how I changed the mindset of my students and also the younger faculty. And it really worked wonders, because after the students went for their jobs, interviews rather, not jobs, I think it was, I don't know her name, forgot now, first batch student, second batch, maybe Krishna Priya will be able to tell better. They said ki there were a lot of M.Pharm students also competing with those my students in for that interview. But they selected our students and they said, you go and bring 9-10 more students from your institution for us. So that gave me more confidence that yes, I am on the right path, and I must keep continuing doing like that. So my basic philosophy is there is no substitute in life for hard work, dedication, honesty, and truth. I call these four as the founding principles of success and glory. And that is what I taught my students. And that is why I think I have succeeded to the level that I have.
Thank you, sir. So those four principles are really very important for each teacher to follow. I move to Kutino, sir. Sir, you have seen the change, academic situation earlier and now. You have been witnessing it. So with that, what do you feel that what kind of skills a teacher should develop in the changing scenario of academics? Your guidance, please.
Okay. So I think the biggest challenge now is that teachers are involved in so many other things besides teaching and research. I remember when I started as a teacher in 1986, okay, there was only teaching to be done and laboratory work to take practicals. And that was the end. And I had so much of free time to read and to think about my research problems, okay. And nobody bothered about whether attendance was recorded, attendance was sent to the to the university. All these things were very minor, were very minor issues. And so there was a lot of time where we could read and do research and do things, whatever was a passion. Over years, and I've seen this in my own career growth, right from a lecturer to an assistant professor, to those days as a reader, and then to a professor. I've seen that it's my path has been bogged down with so much of administrative responsibilities that, very sad to say, it had a great impact on the time that I could actually spend with my students. When I was a lecturer and I had some few students with it, I often used to sit with them at lunchtime and at tea time, and talk a lot about research. What are you doing? And, talk to them about what do you think about how this could be done? Here is a problem, find out, read, think about research. We had a wonderful time discussing in the canteen. I used to spend a lot of time in the canteen with them, and even in the lab with them. As the profession grew and the pressures grew, okay, of more of this documentation and administrative work, it actually took me away from my students. And then the students used to say, sir, we hardly meet you, we can hardly talk. And I used to actually grapple with this issue of, how to interact with them. But somehow, after all these administrative times, I used to sit a little late with them, and then I used to, discuss things. I think teachers are grappling with this fundamental thing that somehow a focus on teaching and research has gone away from documentation with, doing all the other things, all the administrative things, that focus has gone out. And I do not know what is the answer to this. With everything that is being demanded, accreditation, autonomy being demanded, ranking being demanded, these things being demanded, documentation for this, documentation by the document for this agency and that agency, which is being duplicated. Our teachers are just bogged down with this, that it gives them very little time to read and teach, and, improve upon themselves out there. I really don't know. I'm at this new institution at St. John's in Palghar, and I'm trying my best in order to inculcate a spirit of research inside them. I always get this thing from them, sir, we are just bogged down with teaching. There's so much of our time that goes on administrative and documentation that there is very little time left to. I do not know the answer. I do not know what is the answer and where this will this will go. I only somehow tell them now, as my my principal when I was in school, they should tell me you have to make 25 hours after 24 hours. And I keep telling my teachers, somehow you have to make 25 hours out of the 24 hours in the day in order to grow, to read, to learn, and to practice and to practice your research. Without research, you cannot be a good teacher. Let me also say this, encouraging all of them that you must do some sort of research. And that will open your mind out to think about issues, to think about problems, to think about innovative ways of bringing up, concepts to your this. Make those 25 hours out of the 24 hours that is there in the day. So you young teachers, that's the only way. Think how you can proportion your time between what that is mandatory to do at the institutions. We cannot get away. Okay, there is something that is mandatory to do. You have to find out a way out of this, how now to that these things do not bog you down, and you find time to read. You read journals, read articles, and devote your time to research, and also spend quality time with your students, especially your postgraduate students. Okay, sit with them, talk with them, have a cup of tea with them, and discuss with them what are the issues that they are facing. It will go a long way in improving you as a teacher and improving as a researcher and in your education. Thank you.
Sir, you have raised a very important point. These are all emotions from all teachers. Rather, I should say this is a big complaint from all teachers that they have a lot of responsibilities, academic responsibilities. I go to Professor Akamanchisar again because, sir, this is a big problem. And you please guide us, as Coutinho sir has given certain leads from his talk, but this administration is cannot be avoided. But the teaching is also important, research is also important. What are your thoughts? I'm going to ask this question to all the stalwarts because this is a very important question in the minds of every teacher, that we have been asked to do a lot of administrative responsibilities and we don't get time to read, and certainly it affects our teaching. Akamanchi sir, what are your thoughts? How we should find out a way for it?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yes. To some extent, we may have to do administration, definitely there. But of late, it has become too much because we are doing administration not because institute want us to do it, because somebody else is incompetent, that is all pushed on us. So what is more important is that you appoint competent administrative staff. If the competent administrative staff is there, the load on the teacher will definitely start going down. This is first part. Second, management should never think that teachers have time. They are just whiling away their time, chit-chatting, so give them the work. I think that impression, whatever management has, that should go. And teachers have to demonstrate that we are busy, we are reading. That should be reflected in their actions. They should. So if these two things are taken care of, automatically the burden of administration will go to the administration. Third point is, if you see, unlike the industry, in education institution, work is not much. Same work 10 times we are doing because somebody is not doing it. So if the work gets done as and when that is to be done, I think there is not much work to be done. Because if you see what the turnover of the institution, very meager, and only changing thing in the institution is student coming, student going. No other things are there. There's nothing like a production, bid, this, that. It is not there. But what is the major failure here is that the head of the institution, I want to even say that the head of the institution, the management should look into this, that to appoint very good administrator, competent administrator with competent staff under them. If that is not there, teachers are going to face this, and management have to come out to the mindset that teachers have time, give them. No, that is not correct. Not correct. Teachers don't have time since they get dragged into the administration. Whatever little time they left, that is not sufficient for them to read. So somehow they are managing. So this is the, you can just advise your administration that, and it is appointing competent administrator is in their hands. See, at least for appointing the teacher, there are UG, CEI, CT, PCI, so many things are coming. For administrator, they are free. They can appoint a very good administrator, competent people. 90% of the work of teachers will go to the office. It's only the office which is not doing their job, it is pushed on the teachers. This is my reading wherever I go. Now I am in a private institution versus government institution, which I have seen is only this. They appoint incompetent fellows in the office and all burden is pushed on the teachers.
Okay, okay. But I'll go to Gabe sir. Sir, we have to do NRF, we have to do NAC, we have to do NBA, and so many things we have to do, right? So this question, Coutinho sir has very rightly started this discussion. What are your thoughts? How we should face this challenge? This is the biggest challenge actually.
Yes, when this started increasing, I said I will quit my job, but not the teaching. That is why I took voluntary.
Okay.
It is absolute garbage, nothing else. It is total garbage. What teachers are subjected to, so much non-academic information is required. I have taken this point with NBA person also, chairman of the NBA, that how can you frame guidelines where you evaluate quantitative aspect in terms of quality. So for example, percentage admission. Admissions are not in institution's hand. Then how can you judge this? Then you give there, say out of 15, 10 automatically if it is government controlled or whatever, something like that. Syllabus, it is compulsory now from PCI. So what is your role in input of syllabus and whatever other issues are related at the local level? So I have also taken this with PCI that I said, if you want to make a uniform syllabus, it is not really a correct approach because all these states do not have same requirements. Their aims are not the same. Say you take few states, Telangana, Maharashtra, Gujarat, they are industrially more advanced. Now, why you want to just push something down their throat, which is community pharmacy? Why this? I said, you have two separate divisions, but we are hell-bent on improving something at the cost of something else, not parallel increase. This is my strong objection. All subjects must develop equally. Sutix person cannot say chemistry is not important. Chemistry cannot say what is there in cognosy. Cognosy cannot say what is there in ecology. So this sort of thinking and comments are totally unacceptable, useless. Every subject has its own importance. And I think I'm not saying this because I'm a chemistry person, but chemistry is the soul of all pharmacy subjects. You show me one subject where it is not connected strongly. Forget the minor points. And teachers have to be relieved from the non-academic work. Fill this form, fill that form, this content, that content, NBA, NAC, all that.
Okay, but sir, that is really challenge, as you rightly said.
It
but
really
it is a challenge which
it really is, and it will definitely need very strict action in the beginning. Slowly you can dilute that, but in the beginning it will have to be very strict. That is my personal opinion.
Right,
otherwise we have not come out of the British Raj that unless there is a danda, you will not work or will not follow. There is no concept of voluntary ideas or something like that.
Yeah. Bise sir, what is your opinion on this thought? How teachers can, be made free from all these responsibilities and can devote more time on the productive teaching learning kind of thing?
Yeah, I will give my views. See, my views are that all teachers are not of the same attitude. Although research is extremely important, it has to be done, and the final way on which the ability of a teacher is to be assessed is research. But then, if some teachers are more inclined to administrative work, the part of work which is routine, which can be computerized, can be shifted to those people who are having more interest in administrative work. Fortunately or unfortunately, in private institutions, administrative work, one who takes more administrative responsibility gets a better position. And one who is only involved in research may not get that position. That really happens. And that is why many teachers have more flair, especially those who are wishing to take higher positions and becoming the top of the institutions, have more inclination towards administration. But those teachers who are really committed to research should be given more free time so that they can do the research, and they should be relieved of administrative responsibility to a larger extent at the cost of teachers who are interested in administration. And this can be fairly done by computerization of work, so that once the repetitive things are computerized, they need not be repeated at every point, and data at one place can be really used for other places. This is what my suggestion, that if possible, do give choice to teachers whether you prefer administrative work or research, and those who can do research, those are good at research, should be given that responsibility. There may be some third category which may be given partial responsibility on both the sides. This is my suggestion.
Yeah, that's right. So even under NEP, they have classified research institution and other kind of, new terminology have been introduced. We have Nagar Sinkar madam also attending this session, and I'm also able to see Dr. Krishna Priya. Both of them have worked very close to Aarti madam, Jagtap madam, as Dr. Kutino has also worked. But I would request Nagar Sinkar madam, if you are able to hear me, can you please give some idea about whatever personal interaction you had with Aarti Jagtap madam, and then I will go to Krishna Priya madam. If Nagar Sinkar madam, can you please throw a highlight on her personality, because in our brief introduction, I was really mesmerized with her humbleness. If you can share one or two memories of Dr. Aarti Jagtap. Nagar Sinkar madam, are you able to hear me? I could see that she has logged into the session. Madam, anyways, I will go to Krishna Priya madam. Please, your thoughts on Jagtap madam, your colleague, your senior, and many memories, So please give some brief idea about it to all our young teachers and what you learned from her, so that teachers also, those who are attending session, can grab something from this discussion. Please.
Hello, everybody. It's really an honor to speak about Jagtap madam. Jagtap madam was definitely a person who was approachable to all.
True.
And she kept her connections with all. Whether you are a new entrant, or you are the principal, or you are a non-teaching staff, everyone was very close to Jagtap madam. Even I remember, even when I have had health issues, the person whom I have spoken to and who has advised me has been Jagtap madam. When there was a question of me, having to, my post becoming excess at Bombay College of Pharmacy, and then later when I had, applied at NMIMS, and I was thinking whether I should apply, not apply, do all the things. Person whom I contacted first was Akamanchisar, and definitely it was Jagtap madam who gave me that push. No, Krishna Priya, you should go take up, look at this. Tomorrow there may be other issues coming up over here, but take this opportunity. And even in the case of her students, because I still remember her farewell, and students telling that they have never ever had Jagtap madam, raise her voice, except when it was something very critical with their research and they have done something terribly wrong. So that is one thing which I feel I should learn from her, that she was always doing everything in a cool, calm manner. And everybody, I would say, whether it was students, undergraduate, postgraduate, or PhD, whether it was, the teaching faculty, a new entrant. I still remember me joining Bombay College of Pharmacy in 1999. and how comfortable she and Nagaseka madam, Kulkarni madam, Kutino sir, all of them made us feel, that, and I would say, if anybody has to learn anything as teachers, that let us know that even when our juniors come, okay, how much we can support. Here I have 2 teachers who have taught me. I know you're asking me to speak about Jagtap madam, but Gabe sir and Akamanchisar sir both have taught me. Jagtap madam and Kutino sir, we have been together at BCP, both have been my mentors. So I would really tell here that this is an always cheerful, smiling, very organized. Everything is done, in a proper manner. These are few things that I think we should try and learn from Jagtap madam. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, yes, madam. Yes, you are there now. Yes.
No, I'm struggling with my computer.
Okay, yeah.
But I think I can speak now if I see.
Please.
I'm not able to get it through the video.
Not a problem. At least you share your, memories with Jagtap madam.
Yeah, and I would like to. First of all, hello to everyone. Dr. Akamanchi, Dr. Kutino, and Dr. Gabe. Well, to say a few words about my friend, Dr. Aarti Jagtap. Jagtap madam was a smiling face, and she was actually known as Smiling Lady of BCP. We shared a lot on personal front, almost like school-going kids. We went together to college, we came back together. So a lot of sharing on personal basis, but professionally, I would say that Aarti was very thorough in her subject and so organized, as Krishna Priya was saying, that anything that she had decided to do in the lectures, in practicals, in the experiment which was done or research, everything was organized from A to Z. Now, besides that, the most important quality that I saw in her is she was extremely helpful. Her help was extended to everyone, whether the person is from within BCP, outside BCP, whether the person is student, person is teacher or principal or whatever. And the kind of support that she gave us for animal studies, animal related work, animal ethics committee, protocols to be written, protocols to be explained to the committee to get them approved, and also get the work going. Means whenever animal studies were done, they were actually done in pharmacology department under her supervision. Her students always helped. So I think her culture inculcated in her students. So the way she was helpful, her students also helped in animal studies to other students. So that was a great contribution to others' research also. It was not only her research. We did a lot of work together because I was working in pharmaceutics and our animal studies were done in collaboration with her. We had some publications together, and overall it was a great experience professionally as well as personally. I don't think I can say more about her. It's overwhelming. Thank you.
Ma'am, I can understand those feelings, and I have seen you, Kulkarni madam and Jagtap madam, walking together every time.
Yeah, and I felt that it was very untimely exit.
Absolutely. It was a very shocking to each one of us who have seen her, interacted with her, felt her. She was really a wonderful teacher, no doubt about it. And that's why APTI Mumbai team, we've all felt that we should also recognize her, at least remember her in our memories, because she was certainly a very helpful teacher. I was a chemistry guy, she was a pharmacology teacher, but I never felt that whenever we used to visit Bombay College of Pharmacy, always used to peep in her cabin and say hi to madam and then leave the BCP, wherever. Yeah, coming to the fag end of the program, sir, this is a big, unique question we always ask to every legend, because you have done so many things in your life. and that's why you have reached to this position. So the question is, I will start with Dr. Bise. Question is that what message you would like to give to all pharmacy teachers, if they have to excel into their own career as a person, as a professional, as a teacher? What are your some key pointers, if you can please share? Bise.
Yeah, teaching is extremely important, for which you are appointed, but research should go hand in hand with teaching. That is the first lesson you should have, that although you are very good at administration, you should continue research and you will be recognized later by contribution in the research. So research and teaching should go hand in hand. Because pharmacy is a industry related course, the interaction with industry is equally important. For all the branches, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmaceutics, cognosy and ecology, there is a possible interaction with industry, and therefore when you are doing research, it should be more of an applied research which is of relevance to the industry. Then the third important thing is innovation is extremely important. All people, what they are doing, one should not repeat that. In fact, very good definition of research is to do what others have done, but to think what others have not. So this thing every teacher has to keep in mind, that they should look at the problem with a different point of view and put innovation as a point of research in their characteristic. Follow-up of the things is extremely important. Just by telling the things are not being done, and when research students are pursuing their research, the authenticity of the data is to be checked very meticulously by the teachers, because unless the observations are sacrosanct, hypothesis comes after that. But in order to match your hypothesis to the observation, there should not be any meddling of the data in the research work. That is fourth important thing. And finally, the new education policy is coming. There are a lot of challenges in that. Cluster of colleges may come, then degree, diploma may be linked together. 2 years diploma, third year professional degree, and fourth year research degree is the proposal given by NAP for all the areas to come. And in the coming 10 years or so, every institution, there may not be many affiliated institutions to the university. Much of them will be autonomous colleges. So syllabus have to be framed. So the teachers have to change their mindset in this way, in framing the syllabus, which may be common, where diploma is for first 2 years, third year added degree, and fourth year research degree. And in addition, there is a possibility that in the new education policy by 2035 or 2040, there will be colleges of multidisciplinary nature to a larger extent. In fact, this does not apply only to fields, that is medicine and law, but all others may have. So in that case, many of the pharmacy colleges may become departments in the colleges and may have to run. This is eventual possibility. This I am predicting. So people have to adjust with this new education policy in the form of thought process, that this is the overcoming. You have to overcome this challenge of framing a syllabus, diploma, degree linked together, and research degree added to that. This is my thought on this process. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So research, innovation, follow-up, authenticity of data, and getting acquainted to new education policy, provision of the new national education policy. These are certain keywords which you have given to all of us. Moving to Akamanchisar. Sir, how I can excel in my career as a teacher, as a researcher? What are your words of wisdom to all the faculty members over here?
Yeah, my thoughts are something like this. As a teacher, I already told you that as a teacher, you have to continuously keep on reading. Your only job is read, and keep on reading, not ordinary books, books of very accomplished people written by them you should read. And many of their, for example, in university, we were lucky. There is book series, lectures given by Nobel laureates. So you can read, you can understand their fundamentals, how they solve their research problems and how they used to teach, etc. They will put their experience also in those lectures. Now in today's world, these lectures are available online. You can listen to them and they will explain how they came up in their career, how the idea got generated, how they were teaching, etc. I think that is an excellent source of information which every teacher should go through. that read Nobel laureate lectures you should read, Nobel laureate lectures you should listen repetitively. That should be one thing where every teacher has to do. Second is teaching, of course, to be taken very, very seriously, and students should respect you, and you will get respect only when you become a good teacher. Otherwise, on the face, they will show you the respect, but behind the scene, you don't know what they will talk about. So that nowadays, students are too smart. So you have to really be careful about that. That's first. Second is you must do research, and research should be idea-based, and you should adapt to the situation wherever you are. Don't say that we don't have facility, etc. So you will never get establish all the facilities. Now you please come and do research. Nobody is going to tell that. So you have to understand the situation where you are and develop ideas according to the situation around. Once your idea starts blooming up, you start getting all facilities, money will come, everything will come. So it is an initial phase. It is really a challenge to initiate research with, and if research is more idea based, and if you really give a thought on the facilities, if you see some of the leading publications, if you read, you realize that they don't need so many facilities. You feel that you need facility, but if you read their papers, you realize that you don't need facility to do that such a high level research. So one has to be careful in understanding and developing a research idea and try to be as economical as possible so that your research sustains. And once student realize that you are a serious researcher, you will start attracting talented students, and that is the key part.
Yeah.
Once you get talented students, your career is done. So I was lucky that I always used to get talented students. I'm successful in research, and even today also I'm extremely busy with respect to industrial consultancies and so on. All this credit goes to my students, talented students, which I could attract and they could contribute. So this is the key part, and teachers should adopt. One of the key thing about the teacher is that you should be adaptable. Whatever situation is, you have to adapt. You have to realize that nothing comes in an idealized way, and what you think ideal may not be ideal. So this is the situation you are. Do what best you can do. So that's what teachers. If you are intelligent, you should be able to adapt.
True.
That's
True.
simple. So that is what I feel. All young teachers should. And nowadays, see, privatized education, etc. There's a lot of uncertainties have increased. See, we were lucky that we were in a government institution, career is fixed, or pension is fixed, everything is fixed. So we were comfortable. Security-wise, there was no issue. But younger generation, they have their job security issue. One of the best way they can maintain their job security is build up your career, become more competent, more visible, so that will act as a security for you. So if not here, somewhere else, somebody, see, one thing is, people are always looking for good people.
True.
So if they realize you are good, people will come to you and pick you up. So I think that could be a very good security of yours is that people should feel that you are a competent person, very serious, honest, hardworking, and so people will, this is how that you build up your security. Don't wait for security of the institution. This is the way you can build up your security so that you become relevant, competent, all the time you are needed. So that is what I feel to the younger generation.
So, sir, that's very fantastically you have said it. If I have to summarize it in one line, what you said, you have to become a brand. You have to become a brand, Dr. Akamanchi. You have to become brand, Dr. Gabe. You have to become brand, Dr. Bise, Dr. Kutino, Dr. Jagtap. You know, if these brands are developed, as you rightly said, that there will be security, job security will not be an issue. I mean, very certainly, very important point you have said. And as you said, reading is one of the important aspects a teacher should not forget. So that's a very important message for everybody, all of us. Gabe sir has mentioned that you have to become a brand, you have to become relevant every time, right? So how a teacher can become a relevant, can become a brand? Some closing remarks from your end.
Yeah, very correct what Dr. Akamanchi said. But I think we can split this into two parts, the UG education and the PG education. What we have to do is for UG education, you have to build a very strong foundation. Because once your foundation is strong, you can have a multi-story building. But with a porous foundation, you will not succeed. The building will not stand. So for that, the teachers must realize that what difficulties the students are facing in understanding. Teachers must get away from that gutter system of mug up, and throw up. Secondly, you must teach from standard books. You must make your notes from standard books and also tell the students to refer to the standard books. The books in the library are not meant for the cupboards. They are meant for the students to read and study properly. And principal, directors, institutions, managements, it is their prime responsibility to see that only standard and quality books enter the library, not any 10 rupee, 15 rupee, 50 rupee book. You get multiple copies of those and fulfill quantitatively. This is what I have been telling the authorities, that this is how you evaluate. You want 150 books? Okay, we can't afford it, so we'll buy 10 rupees copy there. You have fulfilled the number, that is all you are looking for. And this is how you evaluate quality. That doesn't work. You have to go down to the level, IQ level of the students, that they will understand what you are saying. Secondly, solve some problems for them in the classroom. Your teaching should be interactive teaching. Don't just put the slide and keep reading one after the other, or show the transparency, start reading. That is the worst kind of teaching. I don't call it teaching, it is reading only. But that is what is being done. Why? Because the NBA, NAC and all managements want you to use audiovisual aids. You have fulfilled that, so you get those marks. The main purpose of education, I feel, is students must understand what you are teaching, and more prominently at the UG level. The PG level will build itself, because that is how the timetable and the subjects and other contents are there, credits. So this, you can take few things in the class and tell the students to read rest in the library from whatever book they feel convenient but of good quality. Secondly, research is equally important, but that part will come in PG level. I think it is not of much use personally. At the undergraduate level, it will simply eat their time in that, and they will get diversified in their focus. That should not happen. Their focus must be understanding very formally the basic fundamentals and how they can be applied in either industry or some other sphere of their career. Then journals, unfortunately, very few of us are getting very high quality journals. We have to improve on that. And secondly, the sophisticated instruments, those are still lacking in institutions. Only a few have them. So that is a big handicap. But then that can be removed provided you have your basics, and you can get that through some other institutions, especially in Maharashtra or all over India. Now the sophisticated instruments availability has increased considerably, considering the time that we were students. In the last 25 years or so, it has increased considerably. Teachers should not think only of getting a PhD. What happens these days is they want PhD degree without thinking anything about the project. They simply tell what the guide says, or say this is given in the procedure. Why it is given, that is never understood or never even looked at very sincerely. This is what we have to do. We have to give more stress on the word why. Every step you have to ask the students why, so they will be able to think about it and then answer. Thinking only will raise their innovation level, not otherwise. Mugging up will never ever do it. So this is, I think, basically what we have to strengthen, and the main culprit in my view is the 10+2. There it is totally mug up. Don't ask questions. If you ask, we will punish you. If you don't, we'll give you 70%, 80% marks. This is how you have to do it. The teachers has to remove the fear aspect when they are asking their difficulties. because most of them, they think that how should I ask the question? Others will laugh at me that this is such a stupid question he is asking. You have to remove that fear from their mind. You have to make sure they are comfortable. Whatever they don't understand, they will ask you. If not in English, let them say it in their own language. But that definitely has a very big impact, is my observation. And that is what I would advocate to the young teachers. Thank you.
So a lot of things you said, sir, but importantly, if I have to abstract it, what you have emphasized on the quality rather than the quantity. But unfortunately, there are a lot of regulatory requirements also as far as the quantity is concerned. And that is always a juggling between this quality and quantity. The new generation teachers are facing this kind of issues. But yes, what you have suggested, both of you, rather, that we can find out.
That
Yes.
the institutions have to put pressure on the authorities,
Right.
AICT, PCI, whatever, that this is what is not correct. So you please change it or reconsider it.
Right.
Collectively, you do it, it will have a definite impact.
Right, sir. Right. I go to Kutino, sir. Your closing remarks. How I can become a brand? How can I can become a competitive teacher? We are discussing about this relevant teacher, competitive teacher, a brand teacher. What are your thoughts, sir?
Yeah. So I will endorse whatever has been said by Professor Bise, Professor Akmanchi, and Professor Gabe. Okay, very nicely articulated. My first question is, teachers should have a passion for teaching. And I may say with a little bit of sadness that I've noticed that many people enter into teaching profession because somehow they could not get a job somewhere else. And that's very sad. All these stalwarts here took up teaching because it was their passion, even at a cost, at a financial loss. I think many of the stalwarts here could have gone places were they to work in the industry and would have earned several times more than what they were earning in the academics. I know that. Okay, but these people took up teaching because it was their passion, desire to impart knowledge, whatever they had learned, into the next generation and create a next generation of teachers. And without that passion, I think teaching cannot go on without a depth of passion. So this is one thing that I would like to emphasize. Teaching should go with a passion and a love that I've taken this profession and I will do it with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my might. That is I would say. Another thing is, I notice nowadays that research has become so complicated and so much interdisciplinary that I have to go beyond my domains and beyond my fields in order to do good research these days. For example, I just noticed that the field of computational fluid dynamics has invaded pharmaceutics to such an extent that people are using computational fluid dynamics, which is a domain basically in mechanical engineering, to design inhalers, to design delivery systems, to design dissolution apparatus. And if pharmacists have got to enter into this domain, we have to go beyond what we have thought. And it's a lot of mathematics, computational fluid dynamics. Even the engineers struggle with it. There are very few people in this country and over the world who are great in understanding computational fluid dynamics. And computational fluid dynamics is the area which have been used to design aeroplanes and now being used to design cars. That is impacting the way we are designing equipment inside out there. So if I have to get into these areas, this is just one domain that I've talked about. I see that there are other areas in which have come up in pharmacy which need to go beyond my horizons and beyond what I've learned inside out there. So that eagerness to learn other areas, which could be a struggle, to learn computational, to learn mathematics, to go and then only I can make an impact in research, and I can do good high quality research. So that eagerness to transcend beyond the sphere of pharmacy and to learn from the other areas, I think if we must be ready to do that and to incorporate all those ideas into pharmacy, I think then our research will go places. It's going to be a struggle. It's not easy because many of us do not have foundations in these areas out here, but it's a challenge. And I remember my own challenge when I took up molecular modeling in those days. It was a challenge. In 1986, when I took up molecular modeling, there were hardly any people doing this thing. You know, we always had a question, if I had a problem, whom will I go to ask? I can just remember one or two people in Bombay. It was IIT who were doing molecular modeling out here, and somebody at TFR who was doing molecular modeling out here, and then later Professor Kulkarni at this out of there. You know, whom could you ask if you landed up in a problem? There was nobody out here, and we had to learn all by ourselves, by mistakes, and read literature, as I said, read journals, and look at what people are doing, as attend conferences and see what is happening around. It was a big struggle. But there was a determination that I'm going to learn this area out there. And some of the areas are not very easy. Quantum mechanics is not easy. It's not easy to enter into quantum mechanics and do some great work into quantum mechanics, but it was a struggle to learn this area. No, none of us in pharmacy ever learned quantum mechanics and quantum chemistry. Oh, and that's an area which is extremely complicated. But we took upon ourselves to learn upon this, and it was a struggle. It was a struggle. So I would say to all of you out here, do not shy away. Okay, do not shy away from learning new areas and venturing into new domains, because that's where you can actually make an impact in your research. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Past almost 70 minutes, we all are interacting, and there are a lot of learning. If time permits, I could go on continuing discussing with you, seeking your inputs. There are a lot of requests I am getting that people would like to ask questions also, would like to get a lot of inputs. But I request all those who want to ask questions, please simply visit their offices, their homes, and, have a cup of tea with them or invite them in the institution, and take a lot of guidance, because we have time limitations. As all of you have given closing remarks, what I would like to highlight certain points before Dr. Krishnapriya has requested me as a representative of all the faculty members. I would request Dr. Krishnapriya madam to express her thoughts before we close. But however, one point which I can abstract, I can say as an abstract, that all of you have said that hard work has no option. One has to do hard work, and importantly has to have a discipline, and a lot of reading has to happen. That is what I have, summarized here. Madam Krishnapriya, I would like to, request you, please, if you want to share some thoughts before we close to the vote of thanks. Thank you, please.
Thank you. I made this request because I have my teachers here, and I take this opportunity to start with Professor Gabe, who taught me in B.Pharm, and he made me fall in love with chemistry. And I must say that what I am today, and a lot of things of the way I teach, is because I have been taught by Gabe sir. And whatever sir mentioned, he doesn't believe in mugging up. Even if you have to say that this reaction to this reaction, how it has to happen, unless we used to write the mechanism, he would not give us marks. So that is one thing. And I would like to mention, when I started my career as a teacher, I will tell you, you learn the most when you teach. And
True.
I remember when I used to have doubts when I was a teacher, one person that I used to go to was Gabe sir. And my first teaching was at Siyusha College of Pharmacy. I was teaching first year and second year. Second year I was taking practicals. And Gabe sir's way of even answering our questions when we had doubts as teacher was not easy. Like there was some paracetamol, sedimentary practicals, and there was some hydrolysis to be done, and I was wondering why we are doing that. And I remember going and speaking to sir, and sir first told me, to do a little reading, answer a certain questions, and then afterwards, I still remember whatever sir has told, it was so beneficial. When I was teaching at SVBCP, final year B Farm, sulfanilamide synthesis, and I had this doubt, chlorosulfonic acid we are using. Sir has always told us OH is not a good leaving group. Okay, then why is it that SO2Cl is formed and not SO3H? And I have called up Gabe sir, that time it was landline from the ground floor, and sir told, first tell me how much of chlorosulfonic acid you are using. I said, I don't know, sir. How many moles? He said, go read Vogel, come. I went up, open Vogel, okay, you're using 2 moles. Then again I come back, I call up Gabe sir, and then he says, now you answer. You are using 2 moles, and why you are using that 2 moles of chlorosulfonic acid, and you are generating that electrophile. And it was, it now, when I teach, I still remember all the things that, whether it is now I teach analysis, but there is so much of chemistry involved when we talk about mass fragmentation pathway. So thank you very much, sir, for teaching the fundamentals and seeing that we are not mugging up things and we are thinking and doing. Next, I come to Professor Akamanchi, who has been my mentor for MPharm as well as PhD, and also my mentor for all things that I did in life further in the process of teaching. He was the one who came and told me there is a teaching opportunity at CUSHA. Come on, stop work. I was still doing MPharm. Stop work, go and do. And the books that sir, when I was teaching at Mangalore, sir has sent me journals. He has sent me a book on mass spectrometry. Means he's couriered all this to me. And later when I was teaching at NMIMS, when we had to make syllabus, both Coutinho sir and Akamanchisar sir, how much they have helped. And till now in Bombay College of Pharmacy, in the Research Advisory Committee, sir is there. And one thing which I must appreciate about Akamanchisar sir is sir's question papers. I would request all teachers, please go through Akamanchisar sir's question papers, because as told now, Gabe sir mentioned, it is not that you mug up something and write. You are doing a synthon approach. Okay, the synthon, how will you generate using this? So, sir, I must, really thank you from the bottom of my heart for guiding us and telling us to think. And sir's main thing was reading. Sir would be in the library every day. And he has put in us that you have to be thorough. Even when I joined as the teaching, it was sir who told me, Krishna Priya, pure basic chemistry don't do application. Okay, and that's how I am in analysis now and doing application work. And thanks sir for that guidance, for everything. Now coming to Coutinho sir. Coutinho sir, when I've joined Bombay College of Pharmacy, was the head of the department of the chemistry department. And sir saw to it, the year that I have joined, okay, 1 year over, he has given me his students to guide. His MPharm student, means see how how inclusive sir was. And before I got approval from University of Mumbai, I've been co-guide. And even when sir was principal or sir was, a colleague, the, what do you say, the push that he has given to us to do things. And I have attended Coutinho sir's lecture because I knew nothing of molecular modeling. We were teaching drug discovery. I've come to Udacity where sir used to take lectures, and I would tell all the teachers here that you will never stop learning. And we are all grateful for all these stalwarts who have always tried to impart the knowledge to each and every one of us. Bisse sir, I have never interacted with you, so I can't tell anything about you. And Jagtap madam, I've already mentioned. So
Thank you, ma'am, for such a elaborative, explanation, or sharing your experience. That was really a wonderful interaction with all of you. Gabe sir, Akamanchi sir, Bisse sir, and Kutino sir. Thank you so much. I also I'm thankful to Nagar Shankar madam and Krishna Priya madam as they express their thoughts about Aarti Jagtap madam, a legendary teacher. I'm sure whatever discussion we have had, all the teachers must have taken certain pointers from this discussion, and they will try to bring into their day-to-day life also. Thank you one and all present over here, and the entire team of APTI Mumbai Regional Branch express the great gratitude. Of course, there is a formal vote of thanks. I will ask my team to take it further, but I look forward to see you once again, meet you all of you, and we will be sending our memento either in person or through the proper courier, so that we can express our love, respect for you. Thank you so much. Yeah, Vrishali madam, please take it further.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. And like ma'am said, even I have learned with Akamanchi sir, his papers you could finish in 5 minutes if you have understood the topic, or else it was 1 hour of doing nothing. Thank you so much. I now request Vinod sir to share the vote of thanks.
Yes, thank you, Vrishali ma'am. So let's move to the last part of the today's most awaited event, and that is lesson from legends. Very good evening to all the respected dignitaries, all the most valued invited guests, all the respected teachers of Mumbai region and all over from Maharashtra, all the ladies and gentlemen for being here for this today's online session on lesson from the legends organized by APTI Mumbai region. I'm Mr. Vinod Mole, working as assistant professor at Yeshwantrao Bhosle College of Pharmacy. Today I'm here to propose the vote of thanks for this today's lesson from legends. Before starting with the actual vote of thanks, I would like to share few lines in Marathi. शिक्षक म्हणजे एक सुंदर समुद्र ज्ञानाचा पवित्र्याचा. शिक्षक अपूर्णाला पूर्ण करणारा. शिक्षक शब्दाची ज्ञान वाढविणारा. शिक्षक जगण्यातून जीवन घडविणारा. शिक्षक तत्वातून मूल्ये फुलविणारा. ध्येय दिसते तिथे नेतो शिक्षक. सत्य ते शिकवतो वधून घेतो तो शिक्षक. ज्ञानाची ओळख पूर्णत्व म्हणजे शिक्षक. निस्वार्थ तळमळीने शिकवतो तो म्हणजे शिक्षक. So with this very famous lines in Marathi, I would like to wish once again all the respected invited guests and all my colleagues a very happy Teachers Day. All the honorable chief guests, Dr. Bisse sir, Dr. Akamanchisar, Dr. Gabe sir, Dr. Kutino sir, Dr. Jagtap ma'am, our most valued, all the invited principals of all the pharmacy colleges in the Mumbai region, all the respected teachers, all the ladies, gentlemen, it's my privilege to have been asked to propose the vote of thanks on this today's occasion of lesson from legends. Today we all are honored to celebrate the day with our all the pharmacy teachers of the region, entire team of APTI Mumbai region would like to extend a heartfelt thanks to all the dignitaries for sparing important time and sharing their views with we all and blessing the all budding teachers. First of all, I would like to give a very sincere gratitude to Dr. S.B. Bisse sir, Director of Arogya Labh Foundation, Pune, for being a teacher. Dr. Bisse sir is well known for his teaching amongst every student, for extraordinary administrator, as sir had worked at the principal at Government College of Pharmacy, Karad and Aurangabad. All the pharmacy professionals are his remarkable journey to take the Government College of Pharmacy, Karad to the new height during his tenure as a principal at Government College of Pharmacy, Karad. His all-round expertise in his subject pharmacology, clinical research, and guiding many students during his tenure is remarkable. So once again, I would like to convey my sincere thanks to Dr. Bisse sir for being here and sharing his views for this today's program. Thank you very much, sir. On this auspicious day, I wish to pay my special thanks to our second legend, Dr. Kg Akamanchisar, who served both academic and the industries through his contribution in the development of technologies, manufacturing of API, some of which are commercialized in the industry also. The contribution of Dr. Akamanchisar in publication of more than 115 research paper guiding many PhD students, master students is remarkable. So we all budding pharma teachers are always reversed to you for your outstanding contribution in the nation building and uplifting the standard of the pharmacy profession, sir. So a very big thank you, sir, for sharing your views on this today's event. I also wish my heartfelt thanks to Dr. S.Y. Gabe, sir, for your remarkable words on this work on the pharmaceutical chemistry, particularly on the total synthesis of prostaglandins, derivatives, and exploratory work on the derivatives during your postdoctoral and doctoral work at the Washington University. The international relations are inevitable to boost the knowledge and increase the global reach. Dr. Yasabe sir, known for his international research contribution during his PhD and postdoctoral studies at Ohio State University, USA, and Washington University. Every pharmacy student known sir for his basic interest in the synthetic organic chemistry, natural product chemistry, analysis, and more importantly, for sir's teaching passion. Thank you very much, sir, for showing the eternal path of the teaching for the profession and guiding the all budding pharmacy teacher. Thank you very much, sir. We, the team of Mumbai region, would like to also thanks to Dr. Ivan Skutino, sir, for being with us and sharing views on their academic journey. Your remarkable career is always inspired to all the budding pharmacy teachers, all the students. Sir, you always shown a promising path to travel your followers. Your few achievements itself says, I would like to mention few of them, like you are the recipient of many prestigious awards, recipient of many government grants, sponsor projects from industries, recipient of different fellowships, and more. So a very big thanks, Dr. Ivan Skutinesor, for being here as a chief guest for this today's function. Thank you very much, sir. On this auspicious day, I would like to also wish let Mrs. Aarti Jagtap ma'am and their relatives. Aarti Jagtap ma'am, who retired from her academic career in 2014 from Bombay College of Pharmacy. We all pharmacy fraternities will always remember ma'am for her fabulous contribution in the academics and the research, particularly in pharmacology research. A visionary teacher, a researcher will always remember for her pharmacological teaching and research, as she was born in the family of the teachers. Ma'am, you always shown a promising path to all the followers. So thank you very much, ma'am, for showing your eternal path to all the pharmacy professionals. At the end, I would like to thanks Dr. Rakesh Somani sir, who always guided and inspired we all APTI regional core team members, all the fraternities from Mumbai regional pharmacy colleges to undertake different events like this. We believe under his guidance, the team of APTI Mumbai will able to organize many more events like this in future also. A very big thanks to Dr. Somani sir for guiding we all. Further, I would like to also thanks Dr. Jine sir, Ms. Rushali Kir ma'am, Amey Deshpande sir, Praveen Naik sir, Avinash sir, Abu sir, for your valuable contribution to organize this successful event. Thank you very much to everyone. Thank you very much. Over to Rishali ma'am.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. And I think we need more stalwarts to come back, because I just realized when Krishna Priya ma'am said she has learned from so many of them and we kind of missed out. But because you all are here on the platform, we get to learn a lot more things which will help us be better teachers. So on this note, I think we take your leave.
Thank you very
And we
much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
And
so much.
let's invite to all of you to visit my institution, that is D.Y. Patil University School of Pharmacy, whenever you happen to come to Mumbai, Akamanchisar particularly, because you are now out of Mumbai per se. And of course, to everyone for that matter.
No. I am in Mumbai for 3 days and 3 days I am here.
Acha. Okay. Then please do visit. Mrs. Sir. Yeah.
I just wanted to, just 1 minute, Professor Kutino, on what day you are there in the Palghar?
Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I come to Boisar every week.
Oh,
On the way, I will drop in.
yes. Welcome.
Sometimes I will drop in.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Then we'll close the meeting. Thanks a lot,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you very much.
very
Thank you,
much.
everybody.
Take best care of your health, all of you, please. Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you.
meeting you, Gabe sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Nice seeing you all again.
Again. Thank you.
Okay.